Let's talk about scales. Scale in Latin means ladder. A scale is a set of tones arranged by their pitch. It can be either ascending or descending. To learn about different scales, let's take a look at the musical alphabet. It has 12 notes. C, C sharp or D flat, D, D sharp or E flat, E, F, F sharp or G flat, G, G sharp or A flat, A sharp or B flat, B, and then back to C. To make any type of scale, you order these 12 notes, creating a sequence of small intervals, whole steps or tones, and half steps or semitones. All major scales have the same sequence of whole steps and half steps. The major scale formula is whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, whole step, half step. There are 12 different major scales, each starting on a different note of the musical alphabet. Let's construct some major scales. So let's start with C major. In this case, your root is C, so that is a note that this major scale starts on. After that, we look at the formula, and the first interval of the formula is a whole step. And a whole step is 2 half steps. So we have to go 2 half steps up from C to get the second note. So C sharp, D. So D is the second note. Now from D, we go up another whole step. So if we go up 2 more half steps, we get to E. So far we have C, D, E. After that, we don't have a whole step, we have a half step. So the closest note up from E is F. So you have C, D, E, F. The next interval in the major scale formula is a whole step. So again, you go up 2 half steps, F sharp, G. So you have G as your next note. Then after that, you go up another whole step, and another whole step. And after that, you have a half step, which leaves you back at C. So let's play the C major scale. Now let's do a harder key. Let's do F sharp. To make an F sharp major scale, your root is F sharp. After that, you go up a whole step, so that's 2 half steps, G, G sharp. So F sharp, G sharp. After that, you go up another whole step, which leaves you at A sharp. After that, you have a half step, so the closest note up from A sharp is B. After that, you go up a whole step, so C, C sharp. So you have F sharp, G sharp, A sharp, B, C sharp. Then when you go up another whole step, D sharp. And then you go up yet another whole step, so E, F. And then after that, you go up a half step to F sharp again. So the F sharp major scale is Now let's construct a D flat major scale. So you start at D flat, you go up a whole step to E flat, up another whole step to F, up a half step to F sharp, then up a whole step to G sharp, up another whole step to A sharp, then up a whole step to C, and up a half step to C sharp or D flat. Let's do one more scale. Let's do E major. So you start at E, and you go up a whole step, so F, F sharp, up another whole step to G sharp, up a half step to A, and then up a whole step to B, then C sharp, D sharp, and up a half step back to E. Now here's a cool fact about major scales. Major scales consist of two identical parts called tetra chords. So tetra chords are 4 notes each. As an example, if you look at the C major scale, your tetra chords are C, D, E, F and G, A, B, C. They both have the pattern whole step, half step. In all major scales, the first tetrachord and the second tetrachord are separated by a whole step. So in the C major scale, F, which is the last note of the first tetrachord, and G, which is the first note of the second tetrachord, are separated by a whole step. So now I'm going to give you all of the fingerings for the major scales. So first I'm going to start with the right hand. So for the C major, D major, E major, G major, A major, and B major, the fingering is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So let me play those scales for you. So this is C major. This is D major. E major. G major. A major. And B major. Now I'm going to show you C sharp major or D flat major. So that would be 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. D sharp or E flat major, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. For F major, it's pretty simple. It's just 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So let me play that for you. For F sharp major or G flat major, it would be 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Moving on to G sharp major or A flat major, it would be 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And lastly, for A sharp major or B flat major, it would be 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. And I want you to notice a pattern here. In all of these major scales, we never use the thumb on black keys. We always use a different finger for the black keys. Now let's do the left hand. So for C major, D major, E major, F major, G major, A major, and B major, the fingering is 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1. So let me play all of those for you. Okay, now let me tell you the fingering for C sharp major or D flat major. 3, 2, 1, 4, 3, 2, 1, 2. For D sharp major or E flat major, it would be 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2. For F sharp major or G flat major, 4, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, 2. For G sharp major or A flat major, 3, 2, 1, 4, 3, 2, 1, 2. And lastly, for A sharp major or B flat major, 2, 1, 4, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2. So those are all of the fingerings for the major scales. Let's move on to minor scales. Just like major scales have their own sequence of whole steps and half steps, minor scales have their own sequence of whole steps and half steps, which makes them sound more sad or mysterious instead of major's happy or confident feel. The minor scale formula is whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, half step, whole step, whole step. So let's construct some minor scales. So let's start with A minor. And I think A minor is the easiest minor scale because it doesn't have any flats or sharps, just like C major doesn't have any flats or sharps. So first you start at A, then using the formula you would go up a whole step, that would be B. Then you go up a half step to C, then you go up a whole step to D, another whole step to E, a half step to F, then a whole step to G, and then back to A. So the scale would be A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A. Now let's do a B minor scale. So you start at B because that's your tonic or root. Then you go up a whole step, which is C sharp. Then you go up a half step, which is D. Then you go up a whole step to E, another whole step to F sharp, a half step to G, a whole step to A, and then back to the tonic B. So the scale would be Now let's do one more. Let's do C sharp minor. To make a C sharp minor scale, we would start at C sharp. We would go up a whole step to D sharp and a half step to E, whole step to F sharp, another whole step to G sharp, a half step to A, and then a whole step to B, and back to C sharp. So the scale would be. We can also form minor scales by playing the given note's major scale and lowering the third, sixth, and seventh notes of the scale or scale degrees by a half step. So let's take C minor for an example. So for C minor, we would play the C major scale first, which is C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Then we would look at the third, the sixth, and the seventh notes. So instead of E, we would go a half step down, which is E flat. Instead of A, we would play A flat. And instead of B, we would play B flat. So let's try this out. C, D, E flat, F, G, A flat, B flat, C. And you can do that for any minor scale. Now let's move on to minor scale fingerings. So the minor scale fingerings are mostly the same as those for the major scales, except for F sharp and C sharp. And the fingerings for those two scales is 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. You can tell if a scale is major or minor by simply looking at the root and the third scale degree. So let's take this scale as an example. So if the third scale degree is a major third, or 4 half steps away from the root, the scale is major. But if the third note is a minor third, or 3 half steps away from the root, the scale is minor. So using that scale, let's see if it's major or minor. So the tonic was E, and the third scale degree, or the third note of the scale, is G sharp. So let's see if this is a major scale. So if the G sharp is 4 half steps away from E, then it's major. So let's test it out. So if you go 4 half steps up from E, you'd go F, F sharp, G, G sharp, which is 4 half steps. So that is a major scale. Let's try a different scale. Let's do... So we can tell if it's major or minor by looking at the root and the third scale degree. So let's see if it's major. So you have to go 4 half steps up from D, which is your tonic. So that would be E flat, E, F, F sharp. But the scale was D, E, F, G, A, B flat, C, D. So that would not work. So you can assume that this scale is minor because it's 3 half steps away. So that was a D minor scale. Let's see if you've paid attention. Let's have a quiz. Can you tell me what this scale is? So as we can see, the tonic is B flat, so it's either B flat major or B flat minor. And using what we've learned before, we can tell whether the B flat scale is major or minor by looking at the first scale degree, or the root, or the tonic, and the third scale degree. So I see that D is 4 half steps away from B flat, so that means that it's a major scale. Okay, here's another one. So you can see that E flat is a tonic, and the third scale degree is F sharp or G flat. I'm just going to see how far G flat is from E flat. So I can see that it's 1, 2, 3 half steps away. So that would mean that this is an E minor scale. Let's do one more. So the tonic was G, and the third note of the scale was B. And B is 1, 2, 3, 4 half steps away from G. So that means it's a major scale, and specifically the G major scale. I hope this video helped you gain a detailed understanding of scales. Please like my video and subscribe to my channel, Tara Talks Music. Thanks for watching.